the biggest competition in town. Unfortunately, because of about 1.2 million naira, Nigeria will not be participating in the World Cup. I mean, how do you file a case with, CAS, and you eventually did not put the money you're supposed to put to be able for CAS to be able to take up your case and will not be going? The World Cup is starting in 3 days' time, and a lot of people have not been talking about it, but I mean, you cannot but talk about the biggest tournament in the world. Want to take it group by group. Let's start with Group A. Group A, we have Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and then Czech Republic. I'll start with Solomon. What are you expecting in that group, and who do you think makes it out? Apart from the top two, there's also a possibility for best loser. Who do you think makes it out, and do you think there will be a best loser in this particular group? Group A consists of Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czech.
Oh well, if you look through that group, I mean, let's look at Mexico and South Africa for instance. This is going to give us a repeat of the 2010 World Cup, the first batch of the 2010 World Cup, and then we now have it again as the 2026 World Cup. And I think South Africa, based on what we saw in the qualifiers, that team that we saw in the qualifiers, the consistency that they had, the run that South Africa had in that qualifiers, if they continue, and I think their coach is Hugo Boss. I think that, yeah,
Yeah,
Hugo Boss,
Hugo
that's his name.
Bruce. Hugo Bruce, yeah.
If they continue with that level of consistency, there will be a team to watch out for. Maybe get to the round of 16 or quarterfinals, in fact. But they will definitely be a team to look out for. And I see them, being one of the teams that might make it to the next round. But then you have a South Korea team who knocked out reigning champions Germany in the 2018 World Cup. They have a backlog of history. Yeah, I mean, the 2002 Korea Japan World Cup, the 2018 World Cup. So they have a backlog of history. They would want to also capitalize on that. And Asian teams, Asian teams are not they are not to be reading off, right? Japan were this close to knocking out Belgium in I think 2018 or 2022. They were this close, right? So these teams are not to be reading off. But then with Czech, I won't be able to say so much about Czech because the last time Czech, I mean Czech Republic, the last time they came into the tournament was in 2006. That's 20 years ago, right? So it means that they've missed out on about four competitions, and now they are coming into this one. So I think that left to me personally, I would go with Mexico and South Africa. Mexico most likely because of the home advantage, the crowd supporting them and whatnot, and South Africa because of the consistency of run that they've had in the in the qualifiers, and again with South Africa, their team looks more united than ever. Going forward, I think that they can actually wrought wonders in the World Cup. And then, as I said, with South Korea, they have a backlog of history. They would want to obviously capitalize on that and again give their fans a tournament that they would obviously remember for a very long time. Thank you.
Okay, that's fantastic. Let's go to Group B. Group B is Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, Switzerland. Temiloluwa, who do you think comes first? Who do you think comes second? And if there's going to be a third best loser, who do you think becomes the best loser? It is Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland.
Okay, so I think I'll go Switzerland and Canada. Understand? Because I'll just say in terms of squad quality, so I'll just say Switzerland and Canada. Bosnia doesn't really boast that much of a quality. You understand? Aside Edin Sheko and just a few other players. You understand? But when you look at the way Canada has played, you understand, having the likes of Alfonso Davies, you understand, having the likes of Jonathan David and some other players, you understand. So you can see the quality is there. And also Switzerland, at least the last edition of World Cup, I think 2018, when they were there, you understand, with the likes of Shaqiri and Seferovic and the likes, they gave us at least a wonderful competition. So I think Canada and Switzerland are my take, you understand, to pass to group stage.
For the Canada side, they have about 3-4 Nigerians, who are playing for them. Jonathan David, something David, about 3 of them bearing David, and there's
Folarin Balogun.
no, Folarin Balogun is for
Folarin
US.
Balogun.
And there's also a Akin Kugbe or something that plays for Canada. So about 4 or 5 of them are Nigerians, and I'm hoping they do well. The last group taking Group C, that will be Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. A lot of people are saying this group is low-key group of death with Morocco and Brazil. Solomon, what do you make of this particular group, especially Group C, containing Brazil and Morocco, who got to the semi-final of the last World Cup?
Yeah. But why did you not talk about Scotland too? Scotland are not Scotland are not looking like a team to write off. Scotland are not looking at it like oh. So in this particular group, we can say okay, obviously Haiti is out, right? At least based on let's just say based on let's say based on history, based on squad, based on the quality of players, Haiti are out, right? But Scotland are also not a team to write to just write off like that, because if you look through their qualifiers, and in fact the way that they qualified, I think it's their first time in 24 years, over
Yeah,
20 years.
first time in 24 years. Yeah.
Yes, so you can see that they have a lot to play for, and they have players to actually go all the way, right? Of course, their star man is Scott McTominay. I think he scored in the last match that they played, the last one that they played. So you can tell that they have quality. So I don't think that they are a team to write off. If, of course, Brazil. You see, I'm not talking about Brazil and Morocco because of obvious reasons. We know, we know, we would expect that they qualify. But then again, the World Cup has proven to be a tournament that comes with shockers and surprises. We've seen it happen over the years. 2006 winners, Italy crashed out in 2010. 2010 winners crashed out in 2014. 2014 winners crashed out in 2018. And the likes. You can go on and on. So the tournament obviously would prove to be a quote unquote that's proven to be a shocking tournament. But if there's going to be a best loser, I think that this particular group might have a best loser based on those three teams: Brazil, Morocco, and what's it called now, and Scotland. The gap difference, I would not expect that the gap difference would be so much, because all of these teams, in terms of quality, have what it takes to go head to head with one another. So if there's any group that would have a best loser, I think it should be this particular group.
Okay, Temilolu, before we round up, what's your take on this group? Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Everybody's writing Haiti off. Can Haiti not shock us?
But then there are some things that are not possible. So, but anything can happen. You understand? Let's play the optimism that anything can happen. But then we know the possibilities and we know impossibilities. So that's just that on that. But the thing there now is a whole lot of people are paying, like Mr. Solomon rightly said, a lot of people are paying attention to Brazil and Morocco without paying attention to the wonderful work that Scotland has done. We are paying attention to Morocco, forgetting that the manager or the coach that took Morocco to the last quarter final is no longer there. The one that took them to the AFCON final is no longer there. He has left. He stepped down. So this is a new coach, you understand? So we shouldn't use the same eyes to be looking at Morocco. You understand? Say, no, we shouldn't use the same eyes. And I think people don't pay attention to this. Something particular about Brazil. Brazil don't look like a stable country. Don't look like a stable national team. They don't look like a national team that can go all out. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even pass the group stage. You understand? Based on a few things that I have seen. You understand? Yes, they've won their friendly 6-2 this, but there's a portion of Brazil that is just uncertain. You understand? But you can't rule out Scotland though, with the prowess of McTominay, you understand? Chi Adams, you understand? Are fantastic players. You can't rule them out too. And there's even a higher possibility, a higher chance that they even progress ahead of Morocco. You understand? So it's an open group. But if it's me, I'm going Brazil and Scotland. You understand? So considering what Morocco has used our eyes to see in the last few months, I don't think I'd be advocating for them. But that aside, you understand? Let's just focus on football analytics. And I think it is Brazil and Scotland for me, because Scotland have done fantastically well, and people are not paying attention to them. Thank you.
Okay, and that's fantastic. And thank you so much, guys. This will be the end of the show for today. I think I'm hoping that by Wednesday, Nigeria will be able to do well against Portugal. And by Friday, when we are meeting again, the World Cup would have started and we'll be able to review the World Cup games. And thank you so much, Solomon. Thank you so much, Tim It's always amazing having you guys around. Thank you so much.